Good evening. Tonight on BBC News, we look into crime and deviancy in the enforcement of law in the UK. Our first commentator, a man famous for looking like Santa Claus and a paedophile, is Karl Marx.
It's quite simple really. Capitalist society is divided into two classes, the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, and the legal system mirrors society with the bourgeoisie exploiting the proletariat. Society is an economic-based structure which determines the superstructure made by all other social institutions, including the state and the criminal justice system.
Well, that's very interesting. Next up, we have a commentator named Taylor, who's also in favour of such comments.
Well, we can't always be deterministic about the economical structure. We have to look at the social interactions and the way people interpret their lives. And only thinking about the interactions between the offender, victim, media and criminal justice system in society will not give us a good model of crime and deviance. We also have to look at the economical structure together. You can read all about this in my new publication.
Is Taylor there doing some shameless plugging? Next up, Durkheim, a functionalist, with a rather different take on the situation.
Socialisation helps people to internalise the same norms and values in society. They feel it right to act in the way we require. However, crime in society is inevitable. Crime is normal, an integral part of all healthy societies. Of course we have crime. Crime helps to reaffirm society's shared rules and reinforce society's norms. Of course, too much crime will destroy our boundaries, but just the right amount helps us to keep society in check. Never mind the wrongdoer, we'll make an example of them yet. We'll soon discourage anyone straying down the wrong path and set them in the right direction to benefit society.
Durkheim will be touring with the circus as a bearded lady for the remainder of the summer. Next up is Merton, who has a similar view, albeit slightly different. But before that, a tweet from Miller, who says deviance is widespread in the working classes because they have different focal concerns to the mainstream population, such as fatalism and even autonomy. This means that the working classes are deviant.
Durkheim has made some valid points, but in my opinion, doesn't go far enough. It's quite simple actually. Crime is happening as people are unable to reach the top. Only some can achieve through education and employment. The social structure only offers success to some. Some people will never achieve the dream of prosperity, the American dream. In some cases, people are unable to want it. People are unable to achieve this, but still being socialised to want it, which causes a strain, and one way to get to the top is crime.
Merton joining us there from the slab on which he is soon due to be sacrificed. Next up we have a tweet from Cohen, which says, Merton made some good points and I agree to some extent, however I can't help but criticise the fact that some aspects appear to have been ignored. For example, Merton focused on an individual's response to strain, whereas in reality a large proportion of crime and deviance happen in groups, especially with young people. Also, there seemed to be a strong focus of utilitarian crime with an economic motive, such as theft or fraud. What about crimes that may not have an economic motive, such as vandalism or assault? Becker, on the other hand, says you need to look at who is doing the labelling of these deviants, as these are leading to a self-fulfilling prophecy where they are taking part in more crime due to the label that has been attached to them. It's all about moral entrepreneurs going on a moral crusade, and they are actually creating more crime. Thank you very much. I've been Martin Dunn, and now the weather. Well, Martin, sorry about that slight technical glitch. Now, as we can see, there's been a slight outbreak of functionalism up in the Northern Ireland. As we move further north, there's signs of strain theory up in the Scottish Highlands. Bringing it down slightly, we can see a slight burst of Marxism coming in from the east, and as we move down even further, there's Matza spreading and engulfing and slowly destroying the south. As we move across slightly to the west, we can see subcultural theory taking a hold, and I hope you all have a very nice week. Thank you. Woman Sophie Gates, news reporter Martin Dunn, correspondents Gary Watts, Nicky McIver, Abby Wingham, Gemma, tweeters Amy Broadbent, Alicia Brett and Sophie Gates.